Hi everyone, welcome to our podcast again. Here is the Jazz Cube. I'm Jiangyan.
Hey folks, this is your co-host Janak Shah, and obviously welcome to our podcast today. We have one more very interesting guest with us today, and he'll take us through the journeys, which will not only to help him help you, but it will be I think helping us a lot to build our podcast a lot and taking it to a wider audience. So without further ado, why don't we start with a brief introduction about you?
You guys, thanks for having me on the show. My name is David Wong, and I'm a second-year MBA student here at Emory University, Goizueta Business School. Happy to be here.
Thank you, David, for being here. And can you tell us more about your background? What did you do before MBA?
Yeah, so before the MBA, I started off in undergrad with a biochemistry degree, and I did a hard pivot to the military. I was an Army officer for 7 years in the military police corps, so biochemistry to law enforcement, and now here I am in business school. It's been a heck of a ride.
We have got a lot of military folks somehow apparently in our program, but to know more about you, like how did you make this transition, or what led you to this transition from military to business life?
Yeah, so I first wanted to do the military because, with a biochemistry degree, I was like, okay, I'm going to be working in a lab and stuff like that. I want to broaden my horizons first and try like some of the kind of more operational, like hands-on work that the military offers you. It was also a chance to like start doing leadership. I'd never really done any major leadership roles in my life, so I thought this was a good way to challenge myself, and that's what I ended up doing. But military, while it was very fun and rewarding and gave me a lot of experiences, like the overall lifestyle is a little bit too strict for me. I didn't really like the kind of operational tempo we had to keep up. And I got honestly burnt out after my first 3 years in Germany. But yeah, I didn't have a plan at that time, so I did another 3 years. Did my time as an operations officer and as a commander as well over in Augusta, Georgia, Fort Gordon. And then after that, I decided, like, what's the next step going to be for me? And doing some research online at MBA seemed to be a pretty common theme amongst veterans. Just kind of taking my leadership experiences from the military and bringing it to the civilian world. So yeah, like I started researching MBA programs, and Emory was close by, and it met a lot of my criteria. And so yeah, like here I am now.
Yeah. So also, could you tell us more about your summer internship? How was it, the experience there?
Yeah, so I did 2 internships this summer. I did one with Profit, they PROPHET. They're a brand strategy consulting company. And that was a really eye-opening experience. Coming to business school, I thought consultants are all just like these uptight, stuffy people in suits, and yeah, let's talk about KPIs, leverage, alignment, yada yada. But no, the people at Profit were very incredible, like very down to earth, very creative types. It was a relaxed environment, but they're still incredibly knowledgeable, and they got work done. So I really enjoyed my time at Profit this summer. And even though consulting isn't the kind of path I want to go down on, like I can't say that Profit was a bad internship at all. Really loved it there. And then additionally, I'm currently doing a part-time remote internship with Projection. They're a consulting startup. And what's interesting is that the entire program is by interns and for interns. So I'm the marketing program lead there. And all the other program leads and team leads are also interns. And then all the individual contributors are also interns as well. So on the leadership side, we're more on like the graduate level interns, and then all the individual contributors are more so of like undergraduate interns. So it's been a very interesting experience, kind of build like a marketing program from more or less scratch. And then, but what's really cool too is that even though startup environments tend to be pretty chaotic and fast paced, you also get to see the tangible impacts of what you're doing every single week. Like any semi-major initiative you pull off, even minor initiatives and projects you complete, like it's very easy to see the kind of impacts it has on the business in terms of like engagement rates, analytics, and just overall like when you satisfy a client there. So it's very rewarding in that aspect.
So since you have such rich experience in marketing, and you're really working on improving the marketing channels for this consulting startup right now, can you give some tips for us, our podcast over here, and how we can improve up, viewership and follower count?
Yeah, most definitely. So first of all is understanding the kind of channels you're promoting it through, and then finding out like how does the algorithm work for these different kind of social media channels. And then also, you need to identify who your target audience is going to be. If you try to do just like a shotgun blast of trying to hit everyone, you're not going to get anyone. You're just going to get like washed out there in the sea of content. So you need to find like a target market and target audience and really hone in your content on that. And then also identify that target audience. what are the social media channels they use. If you're looking for like younger folk and something like that, not so much business minded, they're probably not going to be on LinkedIn. You need to find them on like TikTok or Instagram, that type of thing. Older millennials, Gen X types, they may be more on Facebook than anything else. And then of course it's tailoring your content, tailoring your keywords as well, like when you have like the titles of your videos, all the tags and whatnot. It's a little bit of SEO, the search engine optimization. Make sure all the keywords are lining up with what you're really trying to get at there.
Thank you for your insights. So for someone, if like someone wants to apply for MBA, what is like the best advice you would like to give him or her?
I would say, be proud of your accomplishments, stay down to earth, but, don't short sell yourself on your applications, and then be your genuine, authentic self. Have some self-awareness, there's some, you might not want to just like brain dump or trauma dump on any like kind of like topics throughout your life, but really dig down into all your past experiences and figure out what aligns with the goals of an MBA, what aligns with the business world, and really hone in on tackling those kind of topics as you apply. And then, of course, do like plenty of coffee chats, because you want to know, every single MBA program is different. Every MBA program has its specialties. Like, for example, Guizhou is very big on consulting and some finance, but other schools are better known for pumping out graduates that go into other types of jobs and job fields. So make sure the program that you apply for is right for you and it aligns with your future career goals. If you go apply to someplace in California, it may hold more weight in that local area. So if California is the kind of place you want to be after graduation, it might be more suitable to apply there. But me personally, I chose Emory because of the small class size. I feel like with the smaller class size, it's a lot easier to build more organic and deliberate kind of connections with people. Oftentimes people talk about network like, oh, I hate networking. It feels so transactional, fake. But here at Emory Guizhou, like it really does feel like I'm having natural like relationships and connections with people. Exactly, yeah. Like business doesn't have to be purely just networking business deals. You can make some actual friends, and like I've made plenty of actual friends in this MBA program, and as I transitioned out of the military, I came straight off active duty to the MBA program. It was like a little jarring at first, but like the smaller class size, the more personable interactions, and the more time one-on-one with professors and classmates has been like an absolute boon for my transition process.
So like one of the things you mentioned, like your transition was slightly jarring when you were moving from your army background to, MBA background. So how was this transition like, and what differences do you see in the life you lived in when you were in army and the life that you are living now that you are in this business environment?
Yeah, so it's really interesting, right? Military, like the general stereotype is all big, rough and tough people, so super self-sufficient, and to some extent, yes, but in the military, there's already existing structure. It's been there for over 200 years now, and so like there's systems and processes in place for every single position, for every single job. Like you are not special. What you do has been done before, like countless amounts of times, and so there's that existing structure and like telling you what to do and having all like almost like social safety nets in place for you. The military takes care of your housing, your health insurance, all kinds of other like bills and costs. You come out in the civilian world, like you're completely on your own. It's like figure it the heck out. So yeah, it was just like kind of adjusting that lifestyle, building my own structure, building my own routines, and then just like trying to navigate my way through that ambiguity of okay, what do I want career-wise? The military, they have a whole career path laid out for you. They tell you by this year's service, you should be doing these kind of assignments. You'll be promoted to this rank roughly this time of your career. And of course, in the civilian world, it's like you can choose to pivot as many times as you want. You can choose to stay at the same company. You can job hop. You can keep promoting, not even promote, just keep switching to lateral positions and explore more of your field at the same level. Or you can choose to like try to fast track and grind out, trying to chase after promotions. Whereas in the military, like the whole officer promotion structure is designed to be up or out. If you don't promote within like 2 times, they try to put you up for separation. So it's like a very high pressure, like to like change things and leave like your current position better than when you found it in the military. Whereas it's a lot more slower paced in the civilian world, and again, you're at much more liberty to kind of choose how you want to do your career and how you want to live life in general.
So which one do you like more?
There's some things I definitely miss about the military. I'd say the number one thing is the camaraderie. You build like through shared misery and shared hardships.
Exactly. That is the hardship creates like the best friendship.
Right.
Connection.
And so yeah, the military, I made some incredible friends, and they will be lifelong friends no matter where we go, no matter how far we're geographically separated. But it's kind of a lot harder to find that in the civilian world, I think. But at the same time, the just like the rigidness of the military and the way it kind of controls your life, and you're basically on call 24/7. I definitely don't miss that. So at the end of the day, I miss the clowns, not the circus.
Yeah, I see. So far, what is your most memorable moment at your MBA?
Can I say two?
Yeah, of course.
Like one, it's more like an abstract. It's like overall experience with my core team. I was very lucky and blessed to have like a really good core team that I vibe with everyone on there. And like I know a lot of some core teams they didn't work out so well in the first semester, but ours like with most of my core team, we still hang out all the time. We're chatting and hanging out. So that's awesome. Like building some actual friends, like true friends out of the MBA program. And then like a more specific event, karaoke night. Freaking love karaoke, and that was like just the energy we had here. Just it's like you guys can't see on the podcast, but it's in this room right behind us. That's where they held the karaoke night, and it was awesome. Like first year and second year MBAs being able to like mingle together, and like no pressures of like networking, business, all that crap. It's just like actually just having a good time, building bonds, and having fun. Yeah.
It's good to know about your karaoke skills, and we would love to watch that once, once after the show. But speaking about that, beyond your professional life, what is it that you like to do in your free time, if you get any from memory?
Yeah, well, I will say, it does get pretty busy with all the kind of work that they give us here. But I'm a relatively simple man, a huge ass nerd too. So like my free time, I'm playing some video games, hanging out with friends on Discord. Reading a lot of Japanese manga. I'm really into that stuff. Also, like learning a lot about different cultures. So I'll just be doing research on that because it's really cool to see just like different lifestyles. How everyone lives across the world, and then also a lot of weightlifting, and then a little bit of running as well, and then exploring like Atlanta and like nearby places, trying to find new restaurants. I'm a big foodie, love me some good food. So when I'm not getting destroyed by the kind of prices they have in Atlanta, it's always nice to try out new dishes and explore new ethnic cuisines.
So you mentioned about cultures. I'm sorry. So you mentioned about culture. So which culture did you find most interesting so far, and what is it that you liked about it?
Maybe it's just because I'm really into Japanese manga. I just like Japanese culture, but they seem to have everything squared away over there in that country. Granted, they do have an incredibly tough like working like corporate culture. Yeah, that's the point they even have their own term for death by work, karoshi. And I was like, I don't think I could ever survive working in Japan, but just like the kind of systems they have over there and everything down pat, it's been awesome. Like I've been blessed to have been, and very grateful to have been able to travel to like a lot of countries. I did my first 3 years at the military station in Germany. I did a lot of traveling there, and then because my dad is a chemist. My last years of high school, we had to move for his job to Switzerland, so I finished up my last years of high school there. And again, every weekend dragging me out to different countries and everything. So pretty much most of Western Europe I was able to explore. And then the military, I got chance to lead teams to train with militaries in Croatia and Bulgaria too. So Eastern Europe is also very nice. And very cheap too if anyone wants to travel there. And then, of course, like my parents are Chinese immigrants, so I've been back to China several times because all my extended family is back there. And then, yeah, I've only been to Japan one time, but I spent a week in Tokyo. And again, being a huge weeb, Akihabara was like heaven for me, so I definitely want to go back, check that out. But yeah, like I think the next step for me is definitely exploring a bit more of, I think like Africa and South America. I haven't really checked out those continents much. But yeah, honestly, like any place I can vibe with. It doesn't matter like if it's like rich or poor as a country. Like I find there's genuine connections to be found in any place.
So I know you have been to so many different places. So if you have to pick one, like which one is your favorite so far? I know it's hard.
I think overall like atmosphere. Japan, again, that might just be my influences from my anime and manga hobbies. But I think nature, definitely Switzerland. Absolutely incredibly beautiful country. It's like a scene straight out of Heidi. And then for food, I think, food I would say China. There's just like so many different like there's so many like variations of
diversity,
cuisine. Exactly, and there's so many different like ethnic minority groups in China. They all have their unique cuisine and then just like the unique flavors too. So you gotta love it.
You have to come to my hometown once, okay?
Oh,
Right
yeah.
next to Sichuan, yeah, Yunnan. Yeah, I come.
100%.
Yeah, of course.
And is there like any hidden talent of yours? We know karaoke is one of your hidden talents, but if you can do karaoke, if that's fine. But is there any hidden talent that you would like to show to our viewers today?
I mean, what are we talking? I mean, I play piano. I think.
Okay.
I'm currently working on learning Chopin's Nocturne, Opus 9, Number 2. A very classic and famous song. I mean, at this point, it's a meme song. But I think one interesting thing I did kind of pick up. I was in a production of Fiddler on the Roof back in high school, like the musical, and like for like the whole Russian, the whole scene where like the Russians meet up with like the Jewish people and they have like the celebrating the marriage and everything. I learned a little bit of Cossack dancing, like with like kicking their legs out and stuff. Okay. So
It's impressive.
yeah, it's a fun little move I like to bust out every now and then, just like for no.
to show that move to us?
Yeah, sure. Just kind of.
Wait.
It would be worth recording it.
Yeah.
I'll maintain safe distance.
Just kind of go.
Ooh,
Woo! That's that's food.
okay.
That's really
That's
food.
cool. Thank you for sharing.
I know, yeah, it's a very out there kind of thing, but it's fun to always gets people like wow and stuff like that. So fun little icebreaker at some events.
And it is definitely not a common skill. I mean, you rarely see people flying that high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. So, like, what message you would like to give to yourself? Like, maybe if in the future, maybe in 10 years, you watch this podcast. Like, what kind of message you would like to give to yourself? Your future self.
I mean, I was like, you've had so many experiences in life, man, but like never give up on life. There's always more to explore, and then also just never take things too serious. Take your job seriously, take your work, take pride in your work, and do a good job there. But at the end of the day, like memento mori, we're all gonna die at some day. So make sure to keep focused on like the big things that matter in life. Your own health, the relationships you have, your family, your friends. And yeah, just sustaining all those basic core functions. Because at the end of the day, we're working to live. We don't live to work. So don't let work consume your entire life and become your whole personality. There's so much more to explore in the world out there.
So, well, David, I guess that was really, really interesting conversation with you. Thank you for taking out your time and doing this podcast with us. I hope all our viewers really enjoyed viewing you and the skills that you showed. I mean, mind-blowing, absolutely. But once again, thank you so much, and we'll see you guys later.